Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Transformers Friday. From the Toybox edition, I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Voyager class Optimus Prime. Let's get into it! Let's take a look at the figure and its accessories in alt mode. And first up we have the handy dandy instruction manual, Generations, Transformers, Age 8 and Up, Optimus Prime, that. Then we've got some nice line art here, Transformers Siege, War for Cybertron Trilogy, WFC S11 Voyager class. And you open it up. And these aren't bad instructions. They're mostly clearly printed and easy to follow. Shows you he's got all kinds of ports and stuff, and you can plug stuff in. You can take blast effects, all that good stuff. So there's that. Next up, here we have his ion blaster, and it's quite waffly. But it does have some nice molded details in it. And it is recognizable as Optimus Prime's weapon. You can notice there's a port right here. And then the handle, of course, is 5mm post. Then here we have this piece, which can be an axe or shield. Nice sculpted details in it, that Autobot logo, and just everything about it. Is just really cool looking, and we'll get into how that works when we get to transformation, but we'll also talk about storage in this mode as well. Now, as far as this mode goes, now that's a little gappy right there, and there are places where it is a little panely, but you know, what transformer that transforms really doesn't have panels or gaps for the most part? And I have to say, I like the nice silhouette that this cuts. It's classic enough that it's recognizable as Optimus Prime, and it's new enough to say, hey, look, these new pieces are kind of cool. And you've got some translucent plastics in here and in here, and even in the grill right there, and right here in the headlights. Now, he does have some paint apps. A lot of this is molded in the red plastic, but he does have some silver paint apps here for the wheels, some silver for this panel right here, and again silver for the wheels, silver for these windows up here. The battle damage, paint chipping, scarring, space mud, whatever you want to call it, is, you know, we have that. Then we have this nice white paint stripe right here. And then some silver right here for these lights, maybe? Or blasters? I'm not quite sure. And then some little silver paint apps right here. And then silver paint apps for his smokestacks. And then, nope, that's not a paint app. That's just gray plastic. So, there's that nice Autobot tampo on this side. And again, that paint chipping, battle damage, space mud, whatever you want to call it. And he rolls fairly decently. And you can hear he's got those hard plastic wheels. So there is that. Now, as far as storage goes for his weapons in his alt mode, this post right here fits in this port right here. At least this is the way I like to store it. There's multiple things you can do. You can put it across here. You can put it up here on the top if you want. But this is the way I like to store it. And this goes on the top, which I really don't like. It busts the silhouette up. And you can do it the opposite way, I suppose. You know, port this in on the top here so it's crossed like that, and then port the gun here on the back. And that's still, to me, that messes the silhouette of the truck up, and I don't like it. So this stores okay down here. The gun just, it doesn't look great at all. I guess you could put the gun here, but then let's not also forget you can put the gun back in position like this. You can take this off the top. Oops. And then don't forget this port on the top of the gun, and that looks a little weird too. That's a little better. So that doesn't bust the silhouette up as much, but it still does. So, but at least we do have storage for the stuff if you want to display your Siege Optimus Prime in his alt mode. But there we have it, my friends. There is a look at Optimus Prime and his accessories in alt mode. It's time for alt mode comparisons. And here we have the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Voyager class Optimus Prime, with the Transformers Legacy G2 Universe Leader Class Laser Optimus Prime, and the Transformers Legacy United Animated Universe Voyager Class Optimus Prime. For our final set of alt mode comparisons, here we have the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Voyager class Optimus Prime, with the Transformers Titans Returns Legends class Bumblebee, and the Amazon exclusive War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Alternate Universe Optimus Prime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the comedy portion of our program where I attempt to transform this Transformer. So, first of all, let's just take the accessories off and let's just pull them apart, and we'll leave them at like that. So let's see if I can transform this guy without too much difficulty. So the first thing that I like to do, and it's probably the first thing you have to do, I don't know, I didn't look at the instructions, but take the front tires and put them down like this. Then you can take these silver pieces, and they're supposed to untab from there. There they go. And you can see there's a little slot right there and tab right there, and same thing on the other side. And that one was a little easier, so maybe it wasn't tabbed in all the way, I'm not sure. So then once you have that done, you can move these pieces. And can you undo this? No, can't undo that yet. So you open the windshield up, and then this piece, the grill, this piece right here, and the top are all one piece, in addition to these tabs, or these panels that clip into the side. So you want to undo all that, and then you can flip this piece on up. And once you have that up like that, just move these tabs out all the way. Take the bumper and fold it all the way in. There's a hinge right here, and then these hinges right here for these panels, they just collapse on top of that. And then it's got a hinge right here, and that just collapses down like so. And then, so we can go ahead and close the windshield back up. Let's go ahead and flip the head out into position, and then we can close that back up. So there is that. Now once that is accomplished, there's panels up here that are connected to the arm. You want to flip those down. You may have to move the arms a little bit to disconnect them. Sometimes I find that you do have to do that. Then you can move the arms out like this, and then at the shoulders, move them around to the front. Then these, swing these around inside, and there's a stop for them, so when you get them into position they will stop. And then these panels you can just flip on all the way down. Once you have that done, you can take these wheels, and you see there's a hinge here, but there's also a hinge up here. So you lift those up, and then they just push in like that. And somehow I messed that one up. There we go. Now that's in position. Now right here there's a hinge back here, and so that part flips up like that. And then now that we have that done, we can put this down level like that, and then it also rotates right here at the hinge, not on the hinge. But I say it doesn't now, it doesn't want to. So there we go. Flip that around, and then that will close down when we get to that point. Separate the legs. They are tabbed in at the feet. Then you can flip these pieces down. And then once you have that done, just push these up out of the way for a minute, and then grab the top of this armor piece that holds the tires, and there's a hinge in there, and they'll flip around like that. Now before you close this piece all the way down, this gray piece right here will flip out, and it's got a tab right here, and it's a slot right here. There is a slot right there, and then they go together like that. And then on this other side we'll just repeat those steps. Flip this out, and then get the tab in the slot like I'm not doing. There we go. So there's that. Oh no, that's still not right. So right here above the knees there's a swivel. Just swing or twist those around, not swing them around, twist those around. Then you can lift the toes up, the foot spur back, and then same thing on the other side. And then you just kind of straighten him up. Alright, there he is all straightened up. And of course, his gun, well, we'll get to that when we talk about the robot mode. What else we need to do is transforming the axe. So first thing, there's a hinge right here, and you just want to swing that down. Then the blades are on the inside, and they're on hinges right here. And I got that. Did I get that wrong? No, you have to do this one first. So spin that one out. Then you can spin that one out. And there's his axe all transformed. Of course, if you don't want it to be an axe, you can leave it all folded up, and it's like a shield. So there we have it, my friends. Optimus Prime all transformed. Let's take a look at Optimus Prime in his robot mode and his accessories. So first of all, you know, what I said about the gun before in alt mode holds true still. And then here is the axe, and most everything I said about it is true. The only difference is being the blades are out now and they're molded in black plastic. And the handle is flipped out. And you can do several things with this, which we'll talk about in just a minute. Now, as far as Optimus goes, you know, most everything that I said about him in his alt mode holds true. You can see a little bit more of the paint chipping or scarring or space mud or whatever, you know, you want to call it. Some people like it, some people don't. It's okay. You can, I mean, it gives them a look of, you know, they don't get repaired very often, or at least their finishes don't matter as much as everything else. And really not a lot of paint apps going on here on the back side. You know, these that we already talked about, the smokestacks we already talked about. And he's got his ab grill there. And then, you know, the white stripes, still some yellow right here. And then everything else appears to be molded in color except for the head. It's got the faceplate is painted in, and the crest there. And I thought he had a light pipe, but he doesn't. So the eyes, I think, are painted as well. Yes, they are. Nice shiny blue. It's hard to see them even with the light shining in there. Let's see if this helps any. Yeah, that helps a little bit. So you can see he does have the blue for the eyes in there. And then, you know, the Autobot Tampo there. But everything else, you know, is the same as in his alt mode. Let's talk about his articulation. He can look up that high. He can look down that low. No chicken neck. He's got just a slight bit of waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, 360 degrees worth of rotation. And he can raise his arm up. This panel right here, where the smokestack is on a panel. And it raises up that high and gives him approximately a 90-degree bend there at the shoulder as well. Single hinge at the elbow. Bends forward slightly better than 90 degrees. At the wrist, a 360-degree rotation. At the waist, a 360-degree rotation. At the hips, he gives you the full splits. He kicks forward that far and back like a mule. And then this is on a mushroom peg here, so you get a little bit of twist right there at the hip. Now at the just above the knee, there's a rotation there. That's mainly due to transformation. And then you get a bend at the knee, a single hinge, but wow, look at that bend. That is awesome. And really no tilt. I mean, the toes can tilt down, the heel spur can tilt down, but that's mainly due to transformation. But he does have that much ankle rocker. Now, as far as his weapons go, he can hold his blaster, and he can hold the axe. So he's ready for battle that way. Now another way you can do the axe is you can leave the blades out, and then this port here in the side of his arm, you can put that like that. You can also do that with the axe folded out so that's attached to him when he's going to use it. But I suggest putting it on the other side so that the big blade is facing down. So there is that. And you can also put it on his arm. You fold the blades back in and put it this way. It's a shield. He can also hold it in his hand like that to be a shield as well. You know, if that's something that you want to do. And again, you just fold the blades back up. Now, the gun also will fit in any of these 5mm ports as well. And, you know, if you're storing it, fold the blades in, it can peg in right here. It can peg in here on the back. And the rifle, again, it can peg into any of these 5mm ports, but when he's not using it, just port it right here into his back. And all that back there, it does make him a little bit back heavy, so just be aware of that when you're doing it that way, and pose him appropriately. And the one last thing I wanted to show, and this might not be an official thing, but I like to say that, you know, when in doubt, you ain't got nothing else going on, those can swing around and they can blast Decepticons too. Well, there you have it, my friends. A look at Optimus Prime in his robot mode and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a Transformers review, robot mode comparisons. And here we have the War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Voyager class Optimus Prime with the Transformers Legacy G2 Universe Leader Class Laser Optimus Prime and the Transformers Legacy United Animated Universe Voyager Class Optimus Prime. For our final set of robot mode comparisons, here we have the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Voyager Class Optimus Prime with the Transformers Titans Returns Legends Class Bumblebee, and the Walmart exclusive Netflix War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Leader Class Optimus Prime. For final thoughts on the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Siege Voyager Class Optimus Prime, I have to say, with this particular figure, I really like the alt mode. I think they did a good job trying to give him something that looked like a Cybertronian mode while staying true to his G1 roots. And like the top piece that goes on the cab with the big lights on it, I really like that piece. I think it's cool looking. And, you know, it does give him a little bit of a backpack, but I think it's okay. With this figure, as you can see now on the back sides of his legs, you know, they tried to hide the waffling a little bit. On this one, you don't really see any in the arms. Although, you know, he does have those extra bits like the headlights on the backs of his forearms. But I think that's okay because you can say they spin around and they're weapons. They're built-in weapons. Now, I do like the fact of the storage for his axe when he's in alt mode. But as far as, you know, the rifle porting into the top, I just don't like that. Kind of breaks the silhouette up for me, and I don't really care for the way they designed that to go on there. I mean, I guess the design is fine, but the fact that it sits on the top and it breaks the silhouette, at least what I think of the silhouette, up. I don't care for that. And that's my opinion. Your mileage, of course, may vary. And I mean, I guess it's okay that it's kind of cool that they at least gave it storage. So, that's okay. I like the fact of how his axe kind of folds up and the blades go in, and so it doesn't really look that much like an axe when he's in his alt mode and it's in storage. I think that works fine. The fact that this Optimus didn't come with a trailer, at the time it was disappointing, and then when they announced the Earthrise version and that he would come with a trailer, I was excited over that, and I was, oh, it'll fit, and I guess it kind of does fit, just not too well. But you can get kits, or you can find where you can 3D print pieces, to help with that issue. But overall, I would have to say, I do really like this figure. I think the silhouette cuts in robot mode is, pretty darn good. The only one that I can think of right off that does it better is the Earthrise mold for Optimus Prime. Now, we do have the anticipated announcement of a Commander class Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime, and we'll just have to see how that one compares up to this one and the Earthrise version. Well, that does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.